The lights on the Outlander set dimmed after a midnight taping. Caitriona Balfe sat silently in the corner of the dressing room, staring into the mirror in front of her. Her makeup was smudged by tears, something she had tried to hide for hours. No one on the set knew what had happened between her and Sam Heughan, only that the atmosphere between the two, who had always been as close as soulmates, was now so heavy it was hard to breathe. It all started during the live interview the previous afternoon. A seemingly harmless question from the host had caused everything to fall apart. Have you two ever had feelings on screen that became real in real life? Sam, always tactful, smiled faintly this time and said, "No, we're just friends. She has her own life, and so do I." The answer was like an invisible knife. Caitriona tried to keep her composure, but her heart was breaking. After 8 years of working together, through many emotional scenes, many times sharing joy and tears, she never thought Sam would so easily deny the connection between them. That day, after filming, Caitriona quietly left the set. She drove in the pouring rain of Glasgow, her mind in chaos. Sam called her many times, but she didn't pick up. He could only stand outside her apartment door for 2 hours, helplessly watching the living room lights gradually dim. The next morning, the news spread throughout the crew. Caitriona was hospitalized urgently. She fainted in the living room from exhaustion and stress. The doctor said she had an acute nervous breakdown, a type of reaction after a severe mental shock. When Sam received the news, he immediately cancelled all schedules and rushed straight to the hospital. In the cold white room, Caitriona lay still, her face pale. The IV dripped steadily. Sam sat next to the bed, his hands clenched, his eyes filled with regret. "I didn't expect, just one word from me would hurt you so much," he whispered, his voice hoarse. He remembered her eyes during the interview, eyes that were both sad and quiet, as if she understood something that he didn't dare to face. Actually, Sam wanted to say the opposite. He loved her. He had loved her for a long time. But because he was afraid of losing their friendship, afraid of ruining their professional image, he chose to avoid it. For 3 days, Sam did not leave the hospital. He brought white roses, Caitriona's favorite flower, changed the water vase, quietly read her a few pages of the new script. Sometimes, he just sat still, looking at the familiar face that he had touched 1,000 times as Jamie and Claire, but now felt painfully distant. On the 4th day, Caitriona opened her eyes. The dim light shining through the white curtains made her frown slightly. When she saw Sam, she turned her face away. "You don't have to be here," she said weakly, but still coldly. Sam stood up and walked to the bed. "I'm here because I care about you. Kate, I'm sorry." "Sorry?" She laughed, her voice trembling. "I denied everything. Even what really existed between us." Sam choked up. He wanted to hold her hand, but she pulled it away. In that moment, he realized the distance between them was deeper than he thought. "You don't understand," he said softly. "I said that because I was scared. Scared that people would pry, scared that I would hurt you if they knew I really loved you." Caitriona's eyes widened, tears welling up. "If you really loved me, you wouldn't have left me alone with that pain." A week later, Caitriona was discharged from the hospital. She avoided all interviews, taking a few days off from filming to recover. Sam still visited, though she didn't talk much anymore. Instead of loud conversations, there were only silences between them, but they were filled with things left unsaid. One afternoon, as dusk fell over the hospital, Sam brought her a new script. He whispered, "This is the last episode of the season. I added a few lines. If you agree, we can say them together in Jamie and Claire's farewell scene." Caitriona flipped through it, then stopped at a passage. "Even if the world changes, our hearts will still recognize each other." She looked at him for a long time. In those eyes, there was no longer anger, only a deep sadness mixed with love. "You wrote this for me?" Sam nodded, not speaking. "Then, let Jamie and Claire speak for us," she replied, smiling weakly. On the last day of filming, the atmosphere on set was strangely quiet. The last scene between Jamie and Claire was a farewell scene, where they had to part forever. The whole crew could feel the tension between the two, but no one dared to interfere. When the camera started, Sam walked over, tears in his eyes. Caitriona stood before him, her face showing real pain, without acting. "Claire, I'm sorry for everything. If I could do it again, I would never let you go." "Jamie," she softly called his name, her voice trembling. "Even if the world changes, our hearts still recognize each other." The camera stopped. The whole set was completely silent. Caitriona's tears really fell, not because of the role, but because she felt the love he had kept hidden all this time. Sam walked over and hugged her tightly. For the first time after so many misunderstandings, the two let go of all barriers. They were no longer Jamie and Claire, no longer two actors in a long-running drama, they were just Sam and Caitriona, two broken souls who still found each other in the midst of the storm. After that shoot, they didn't make anything public. But people started to see them together more often, at events, on short trips, and even in blurry photos taken by fans at a small cafe in Edinburgh. Caitriona gradually recovered, and in every smile of hers, there was something gentler, more peaceful than before. As for Sam, when asked about his close co-star, he just smiled. Sometimes, you have to lose someone once to realize how important they are. A year later, when Outlander ended, they both stood on stage to receive a grand award. The lights were bright, the audience was cheering, but between them there was only one look that said everything. The mental shock that year, which had once made Caitriona collapse, now became a milestone that made both of them more mature, more real, and braver to face their own emotions. In her speech, Caitriona said, "There are things we cannot say in words, but luckily, art helps us express them through our eyes, through each scene. And sometimes, that is how the heart is healed." Sam took her hand amid thunderous applause. Without explanation, everyone understood that between them, there had been pain, but also a love strong enough to overcome all misunderstandings.